I think it's very global this year, so we've got people who have come from New Zealand, from China, from America, and it reflects a kind of a much more international business than Milan used to be very much about the Italian producers' brands, but now it's this international carnival of ideas. And so most is reflecting that. I think we're trying to also talk a bit more about how designers take also the business side into their own hands, and how it's become so much more easy to reach a global audience as a design company. I've always been very welcomed in Italy, and it's here that I really learnt how to be a designer. So I'm always happy to be in Milan. Yeah? More and more businesses are now finding themselves in a new world, uncharted, very difficult to maneuver. So television business is a good example, music business is another example where everything's changing because of digital technology. So design business, and particularly interiors and furniture, is a very old-fashioned business, but it's slowly becoming part of the modern world. So people can manufacture digitally, they can communicate digitally, and they can sell digitally now, which never used to happen before. And we feel that the design world is about to be disrupted in a similar way to lots of other businesses. I've always liked to be an amateur, you know, somebody who's inexperienced, and to design from a naive perspective. So it's very good in fashion business or sportswear business. I'm not a very big sportsman, so I can come to the sports world with a very different attitude. So I hope that you can see that my attitude is different to the other sportswear designers, right? I think the idea was partly to demonstrate the stretch of our business. So we're interested in the warehouse, the manufacturers, the industry, the rough part, you know. But we're also interested in selling the things and communicating them, and the interior design where the things where the things have a context. Yeah. So the idea of showing the warehouse and the tea shop and the retail shop as opposites, and also in the collection itself, we've got a lot of very honest materiality, which is quite aggressive and textured, and we've always liked heavy things. And then on the other hand, we're looking at much more refined, more technical objects, because we like the future as well. So I think it's also a reflection of the British mentality. I think of a Land Rover and a Jaguar, or fish and chips and tea time, you know, as very opposite parts of a British character. I think dominant trends I'm not really interested in. I'm much more interested in developing my own aesthetic and trying to make it as unfashionable as possible and untrendy. You know, so for me the important thing is to try and strip out trend and fashion, and try and make, particularly in furniture world and lighting world, things which are intemporal, that will last for a long, long time. So often my shapes and my ideas are things where you can't really tell which period they're from. That's when they're successful. Definitely London, yeah, UK. No, but you know, I travel a lot, and I think you'll see developing, you know, interesting aesthetics in places like Singapore and Taiwan. Korea, definitely. And so Asia is becoming, or will become important. Italy, so. You know, at the moment, I think that there's just the beginnings of exactly what we're talking about, which is that younger designers are starting to abandon the belief or the hope that the bigger companies will support them, and they're starting to organise themselves to make their own production, which is totally possible now. I think, you know, Italy's always had the big advantage in terms of being the place where design is really understood and where design is really believed in from an industrial point of view. So the young Italian designers need to use that. You know? I'm working now on architecture and fashion over there, and but there's many. I haven't done transport. You know, I've not done electrodomestic. I've not done bridges or towers. You know, so it's just the beginning, no?